All right, we are here. You know, we were just talking in the background, and we're just, as you can see, we've got Ricky on, we've got Sasha on, we've got me, Poodle fam, and we're just talking. Next thing I know, I look up at the clock and I'm like, oh, we're 2 minutes over. I need to start a show. So here we are. Hopefully everyone can hear just fine. I'm looking at my meters. It looks like we are rolling for the 100th Poodlecast episode. All right, Ike and I are see there, Trisha there, Jay there, L there. Look at that. We've got people on. I love it. I can't believe 100 weeks in a row this has happened and this show has gone on. 100 weeks in a row. With only 11 of them, I think were pre-records. That's pretty good. I'm going to say that's pretty good. I don't know if I'll keep that up for the next 100, but we're gonna, now it's like it impacts me. Like it's like I have to do it. So, but we're here. We're celebrating the 100th episode. This also happens to be the 2-year anniversary of our saving the rug today. So how appropriate is that we relaunched on Binance 2 years ago, and of course we've got big announcement. We've got the little ETH launch coming with the exchange later today, I believe. But I'll start to we've got 2 incredible guests today. So Ricky, please introduce. People know who you are, but introduce yourself to people who you are, what you do with Poodle. Cheers.
Hello, Poodle fam. I'm the COO of our great community, working hard, trying to find ways to make our tokens valuable. Trying my best every day. That's what I'm doing here. I'm glad to be a part of this. I never would imagine that I would be a part like this. First just being an investor, now I'm part of the team. 2 years ago when we had that pandemonium going on, that a mix of excitement and terror, just thinking back way long ago, now we're still here, building more things. It's just exciting.
Yeah. No, it's just incredible. No one could have guessed, all the things we would have going at this point, and 2 years ago, and it's awesome to see just how crypto has changed, but also how we've adapted with it and brought in so many utilities and done the right things all throughout the process. So it's awesome to see. All right, and then of course everybody knows the world famous, the master of all things crypto, Sasha. Welcome. Please tell people. Let's pretend people don't know who you are, and tell people who you are and what you do.
Hey guys, great to be here, particularly on our second birthday. So I'm Sasha. I'm CEO, the inadvertent captain of this ship at the moment, and that's not how it started out. I started out like everybody else as an investor in the old, original Poodle, and we all know the history of how that went. And today's the second anniversary that we came together and rescued the token, and we are now thriving as an ecosystem. If people don't know me, I've got 25 years experience in tech. I'm from the UK. I live in Portugal now, and I spend most of my waking moments either thinking or doing or engaging with this project, putting together things that were unfeasible to us 2 years ago. We had it was a challenging time, and we've gone from strength to strength, and very soon the value of our token and the amount of work that we've put into it and the utilities that we are creating will be realized by the market, and we've got a solid foundation to build on. Still got 3 years liquidity, and we'll relock in advance of the unlock. But yeah, that's me, so I'm involved in everything in the project, everything in the ecosystem. So whether it's the exchange, whether it's the augmented reality stuff, whether it's gaming, whether it's metaverse, whether it's anything else that we have going on, white label partners and all that kind of thing, then I am to some degree involved with a very strong team on board at the side of me.
Yep. Yeah. And it's neat to see the team kind of grow. And I'm going to start with you, Sasha, on a question here. Like just reflecting on, these 2 years, when you, I think when you were first part of it, and when I first at least came in as the community, there was I'm going to say, give or take, about 400 billion admins on the on this team. It might be more than that. So talk about, just seeing it from your point of view, how that has kind of pulled in and what it means to, the point where it was you for a bit, and then you and I, and then we had others, and now we've got a great strong core, even bringing in with the the bridges, and now the Poodle exchange token. Talk a little bit about that. Reflect on that couple years on the team aspect of it.
Yeah, I should to think back. So in the beginning, there wasn't Jack. There was Jack and his 29 friends, and there was literally 30 people who were classed as admins within the project. A lot of young people, a lot of inexperienced people, a lot of people who didn't necessarily have a particular skill set to bring to the project, but they were eager, they were keen to do what they could, but it was pretty much a rudderless ship. Then it was narrowed down, and we had about 8 people on the team, and the problem with that at that stage is that a number of those people were inactive and absent. So what happened was, because we had a voting system in place and we were all on Slack at this point, as a platform to communicate, we had to have a quorum of people to get anything done. And 9 times out of 10, we could not get that quorum to do anything. So we had a period of probably 4 to 6 months where we were basically inert, couldn't do anything, had some great ideas, some great plans, but we could not get those moving because we didn't have the quote unquote votes from people who were down as admins, and we needed their vote, but just didn't communicate. So at the time, myself and Moose and P, shout out to P, a stalwart of Poodle, and he's still around now, and he did a great job through the transition.
Episode number 1 of the Poodlecast.
Yeah, we took the decision that we needed to clean house, and that wasn't an easy thing to do because certain people within the team had access to certain things. One person had the domain, another person had access to this wallet, another person had access to that wallet. It was all over the place. So we went through a consolidation period, and we actually we got down to 3. So it was me, P, and Moose at one point. And then Moose was busy with real world things, and then you came on board, and P got really busy with his real life job. He's a DJ. So as you say, at one point it was me and you, and again we consolidated, and then we decided to grow the team back out, but with people who have genuine business experience or genuine skills that we wanted to bring to the table to make Poodle stronger and to where it is today. Yeah. So long answer as usual from me to a short question, but that's the way it went.
See, that's what makes it easy to interview you, because I only need like 3 questions and I've got a 4-hour show. It's perfect. And Ricky, why don't you were around as a community person as well. You're the the next generation up as part of our team after Sasha and I were there. Reflect, coming as a community member, obviously in and around that for a while, and now why don't you reflect on this 2 years, and then also kind of what your feeling is too, especially even going forward.
Well, especially just being an investor, you have your certain concerns, and you get information, but joining the team, I really saw, because I had a lot longer to talk with you guys, how much work y'all really were putting into this thing, and the sheer amount of grit that it took to hold on from whenever we were high to whenever we were at our lowest, and still push on. And this, that was one thing for me to see. I want to be associated with these type of people that never give up on their dreams, that never give up on what they believe they can accomplish. So that has definitely been something that I've seen, and I hope we have many more years to come with one another working on this project.
Well, we better. We're pot committed to this thing. It's amazing. It's amazing to see kind of how it's grown. And obviously now having, the Poodle exchange as part of this pet token as well, on top of the Poodle token, which seemed to work amazing together. If I kind of look back and I reflect on the community aspect over the last, 2 years. And I even, I spent some time this morning scrolling through the 100 episodes, just kind of looking at the titles. And I noticed all the guests and people that were brought in. And, some are still with us and some have moved on. But what I recognize is no matter what, we were always filled with people who had legitimate love for our community, right? Again, this is a financial thing, and everyone has to make their own financial decisions of, what works for them, if they have, if they need to sell or they need to buy or whatever they're doing or what project they're part of. The people who have been part of this has always been the one factor that was continuous throughout, right? Is people who actually cared about our community and got involved in some way. And I don't know that you see a lot of that in other tokens, is people really, really loving us. And even if I look at the episodes that I did, with like StealthX and some of the other, other partners that we were part of, and remembering back how they would talk about just, wanting to bring us in with them and wanting to partner with our token because they saw what kind of people we were, what kind of community we were, then the fact that we don't allow for all of the, the negativity on our site. We don't allow for, bashing of people. And all we want to do is build, the good things that crypto has. And that was really the thing that kind of hit me over these 2 years and kind of re-energized me, just looking at that and going, okay, we have something here. And now we even now have real, utilities and ways to create dividends and things back to our people over, with, just the growth of the token. And, I have to give the shout out to who else has hopped on. Julian's hopped on, Ice has hopped on. So cheers to you. So that's, I love seeing all the 100 emojis in the chat there. That's awesome to see. 100th episode. So before we get to some other things, I'm going to kind of throw you on the spot. So maybe you remember, maybe you don't, but let's talk about the Poodlecast. It is the 100th episode, so we have to. Ricky, I'll start with you. What are your favorite Poodlecast, either episodes, moments, thoughts, things that I do, things that you take away from the Poodlecast? And you're not allowed to say your own episode that you were on. Okay, that does not. You're not allowed to just say your favorite one is the one you were on. That's so, and you don't have to know the exact episode, but kind of your takeaway on the show itself.
Well, the show has always been about educating people. That's one of the main things that I've always been fond of. What you're doing, Dr. Way, with Poodlecast. It's open. You're making it every Wednesday. There's no reason anybody could ever say that Poodle is not working hard, and especially given the things that you're doing professionally, and you still make it every week. That right there, it humbles me. Honestly, it humbles me that you continue to do that. So the best part of Poodlecast is you.
Now I got all warm fuzzies, and I'll pretend that I didn't like it, but actually it feeds my ego. So thank you. I love everything that feeds my ego. All right, Sasha, same question to you. Your thoughts, the Poodlecast over 2 years, where do you think the value, your either your favorite moments? I'll keep it open.
Okay, well, I've kind of got two things to say on this. So my favorite single episode has to be Kristen Hartness from Canines for Kids, because hearing about, from the executive director of the charity that our token feeds, and hearing how we help, disabled children be paired with service dogs and help them in the real world to live a more normal life, has to warm your heart no matter who you are.
Yeah. And
that's the favorite episode. But secondly, my favorite thing about Poodlecast is that let's be real, guys. Over the past 2 years, we've had some fucking dark side, and pardon my French, but we've had some dark periods. We've had some dark periods where things have been bad. Things have been difficult. The market's been difficult. We've had problems, around when our 3D NFTs were launched. It was a really difficult time. And one of the things that kept me going and kept me sane and kept me positive is you, Joe, and your shows. And what your shows do for me is they inspire me to try and be better than I am already, to be the best that I can be. And it reminds me on a weekly basis why we do this, that we have a responsibility to our investors, we have a responsibility to each other. And your constant positivity, even through times when I know it was difficult, is what I really take away from Poodlcast. So thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you again for feeding my ego. That's no, and I think that's also. I love what you said. Absolutely, I want to ditto the canines for disabled kids and Kristen. I mean, she's an amazing person, and again, it does humble me every time I hear her and go, "Wow, we are doing this. Our donations mean something, right? We don't just do things because you have to check a box." And I'll be honest, kind of the same thing. There were a lot of hard times. There were times we're doing stuff, and I'm like, I've made the commitment to do this every week. I said I'm going to do it, and it also serves as inspiration for me too, because it is easy, especially when life gets going or you're in a down market, to go, oh, I don't want to deal with that. But then to come in and go, and whatever the topic is, as people can probably, I've made up topics on the fly. That morning I wake up and go, what am I going to do today? And then we'll go, and sometimes I plan them out, and sometimes I've had ideas of things I want to talk about. But I also get the inspiration most often just by scrolling through the Telegram and going, what are we talking about? Or I'll see someone, like last week's with getting the scammed or whatever. Or I'll see people, just question how certain things work. It's like, okay, well, let's walk through some of these things again. And I think that's the thing that then again re-inspires me of kind of going, all right, this is an opportunity to kind of educate our people, but also remember that we're always coming back together. There's kind of a stake in the ground every week. Okay, here's a place where we can come together. And even if we have, a handful of people on it live, I know we have hundreds that listen to it throughout the week. And I know that because they'll message me or they'll tag, the Poodlcast Twitter and go, I love this little thing. And that's really what also keeps me going. I always joke that, this is my Wednesday therapy, and it's not a joke. It really is okay, let's come back together. Let's remember why we do this. Let's continue to help our family, and let's continue to educate, grow, and be better through this, because we saw so many tokens give up. We saw so many communities give up. And to have that thing where we're going, hey, we're not. Every week we are doing this, whether it be live or pre-record, it's going to happen no matter what, like clockwork. So that to me has been the big thing. So now, speaking of which, and I'm going to go to you, Sasha, on this. We have a new thing launching later today, 7 o'clock or something, or close. What is it? What's going on today? I mean, if we're celebrating 2 years, we might as well have some type of announcement. Talk about what's happening with the ETH later.
Yeah, so later today, the Poodle Exchange will support all of the ERC20 chain. I believe it's slated for around about 7 or 8 p.m. UTC tonight at my time. We've got some marketing to go out. We've got some fun stuff to happen. We'll do a couple of giveaways. And, we're looking to try and harness some of the trade that's on the ERC20 chain and give people a better deal. I mean, I've been playing around with the ETH version of the exchange, and some of the savings you can make are incredible. And one thing we need to highlight about this, because I think some of this messaging gets lost. When we talk about a 5% saving on your trade, it's not 5% of the trade cost, as in the bit that you would pay to an exchange. It's 5% of the gross amount. Mm-hmm. So if you're spending $10,000, which is not out of the realms of possibility on ETH, you save $500 instantly. If there's a 5% price difference, just by using our exchange. Those figures matter to traders. Those figures matter to everybody who buys and sells. And again, the question is, why wouldn't you use it? Mm-hmm. So we all need to get the message out there, target some ETH projects, target the ETH hashtags on Twitter, target the ETH chain. And after today, I think we can confidently say that we have a pretty rounded, complete, range of chains that you can trade on. Obviously we've got the BSC and we've got Phantom and we've got Polygon. But Ethereum is a huge, huge chain, and there are a lot of projects out there with a lot of disparate liquidity pools to mine. And so, we can make people some great savings on Ethereum-based trades. So yeah, that's coming tonight, and it's a fantastic addition. It wasn't cheap, guys, to get this done. But I feel, and the team felt that it's necessary. Long may it prosper. Today's only the start. I don't expect to see, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of volume immediately on the ETH chain, but it's something we can build on, and it's something that we can get out there, and it's another, string to our bow, as we say.
Yep.
On one of our Twitter posts, I saw, that we were saving, 200% compared to another swap. And I think another one, I can't remember which token was a part of that photograph. It was almost 800%, swapping ETH right there. When you think about that 4 or 11 or 5 or 15%, you're saving, on your taxes. What I mean by taxes, I mean the tokenomic taxes. If you think about that, and sorry, it seems, why not use the platform? It sells itself.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about it, is the uniqueness of, our exchange too, of being able to find those cheapest ways and get out there, and also being able to have others, white label us, right, and utilize for their own self, and it helps our investors. Like, we, whether they come to us, whether they use a white label, whatever, we get those dividends, and we get those, and really, even for Poodle holders, I mean, every time someone, exchanges Poodle on it, it gives you a double payback if you own both tokens. So how could you even, complain about that? Being able to kind of, everyone likes double dipping, right? Double dip all away. And I think that is the coolest aspect of it all, is seeing how that kind of has grown. The Poodle exchange token and the Poodle exchange has just been awesome. I think growing the new family too, and bringing in a lot of the Bridges people into the merger, and having that team has really done a lot of, solidifying of what we're, kind of where we're at. And I think there's been, again, another stake in the ground for the token, especially now as we come out of this bear market. And there's so much activity happening in crypto again, and you're seeing it, and you're seeing a lot of movement. So I'm looking forward, and I think this utilizing the ERC20 is going to be huge, especially just for holders. So watch those dividends roll. That's the beauty of it, is who cares what tokens you change? We get part of all of it, right? And they get the lowest price. So, I mean, that's a win-win, right? You cannot.
I keep saying this all the time. I keep saying it all the time, just looking at the rewards that we get from PET. Let's say if I had a sum of money, I put it in the bank, I put it in the savings account. How much do you usually get from your bank? I can tell you, from launch, it's not even the end of April. I have gotten more rewards than I ever have from a bank, holding money in the bank.
Yep, absolutely.
That's just my little 2 cents right there. My little 2 cents.
Yep, 100%.
Why you should hold that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Plus the growth of the token. We're around about 100% up from launch, which is nice, steady growth. We don't want to see 5,000% in the first week and then drop down, as many tokens do. What we want to see is building, week on week, month on month, year on year. And, we're having a number of conversations with a number of projects around white label, that will really help to boost the volume going through the exchange. One thing that I did mention in the room, and I did pin it, but I don't think people really took note of, is that we have a referral program, and we're going to have 2 referral programs. So one referral program for PET that's coming out is that if you refer someone with a link and they trade using your link, you get paid dividends on their trades. So that's one cool thing. The second thing is that if you come to us with a white label partner, a project, because we're all in different projects, I'm in projects that probably you're not in, you're in projects I'm not in. If you bring a white label customer to us, then you will get paid 10% of whatever fee they pay, whichever package they choose. straight back to you in MATIC or USDT or whatever you want it to be paid in. So, there's some great earning potential for people to, become affiliates, go out there and market it, go out there and market the white label, go out there and market listings. And you can also earn cash that way.
Yep, absolutely. And Jules, as a question in there, when does the referral program start? It's going. Go send people our way.
Yeah.
Get it rolling. Reach out to 100 of your closest friends.
Yeah, well, the white label referral program is going now. The referral program for individual investors is being built by Danny at the moment, and that will be coming out very, very shortly.
Yep. So get them lined up. And again, if you think about it, I just talked about double dipping. How about triple dipping? They use yours. If you hold both tokens and they were to buy Poodle on their white, and then you own Pet, I mean, you could totally be getting paid after paid after paid. I mean, how amazing would that be? So make sure that you do reach out to 100 of your closest projects and make sure that they're using it. It's a benefit for them, a utility for them. And especially, I also think, especially newer projects too, who are looking for a utility and a way to separate themselves. And a lot of new projects have a lot of early volume too. So that can become a win-win as well. So huge opportunity there. So, one thing I always like to do, at milestones, I do this personally. Anytime you hit a milestone, and 100 is of course a biggie, and 2 years is a biggie, is we've reflected back, but now we have to focus forward, right? It only does so good to look back, but where we're going to go. So, Ricky, I'll start with you on this one. Again, what are your kind of, I know we always have a lot of things working in the background, but let's say we're now celebrating the 200th episode in 2 years, and our 4-year. What are you hoping to kind of see the project at that point, or what are you excited about right now? What is your idea of what's going forward? I'll just kind of leave it open ended there.
Well, for me, first thing pops to my head is the propagation of the white label. Just spreading it all around DeFi, where we're building, this infrastructure for this concurrent financial market. We talk about getting away from centralized exchanges, and we're on mission. So hopefully from 2 years, I hope that we are steadily moving with that mission of expanding DeFi to where, grandma that sells quilts on her website is now accepting crypto, accepting Poodle for her quilts and things like that. Just that steady move forward of building that good infrastructure. So by then, maybe Poodle is mooned already. We haven't even mooned yet. 2 years, Poodle done moon.
Yeah, we got to get that. We got to get that soon. But we've got some solid volume. We got the ups, we got the downs, we got the solid growth. So there we go. Sasha, same question to you. Kind of, focus forward.
Yeah, so I'm kind of, just to lay something out. I'm not actually doing this for the money. So, money's nice. Yeah, I mean, but I am lucky. I'm in a position in life where for various reasons where I don't have to look and think, oh, I need Poodle to be at X amount dollar wise in 6 months time, 12 months time. For me personally, what drives me is I want our community to, all of them, get to the point that they want to be at. So, whether everybody's got an exit strategy at some point, whether your exit strategy is when we hit 20 million, whether it's when we hit 200 million, whatever your point is, then I want people to be able to look at our community and our token, our project as a success for them personally. And we do good along the way with things like Canines for Kids. We make a difference in the space by being 100% legitimate. We're still standing 2 years later. When we migrated, people were shouting scam and rogue and all that kind of thing. And, I just want to be able to prove those people wrong. Mm-hmm. So I want us to be in a position where everybody who I can virtually guarantee that anybody that buys either poodle or pet today at these prices, yeah, in a year, 2 years time, will be very happy. Now, whatever their very happy looks like is up to them, but financially, they will be in a better position than they are now. So it's less about, you know, a specific goal and more about a journey, because, you know, as we've seen over the past 2 years, people come in, people go out, you know, we get new family members, some people move on. And, you know, I just want those people to have had a good experience with our project, because we are as legitimate as it comes, you know, so that's kind of what drives me.
Yep. Yep. Totally agree. I love that. And I think that your dedication kind of to the project, and all of us, all of those who are, you know, part of this admin team, and are just our general community too, and those who have stuck around and those who are continuing to build, it is a
It
journey
is very
token,
evident.
you know, and you see that, right? You see it and you feel it. And, you know, we hate to say it's a waiting game, but I can be honest, like it is, but so is all investment. So is all everything we do, right? I mean, how many times do you don't check your 401k every day and go, oh, it didn't moon today. Oh, it didn't moon. But yet for some reason people look at crypto and go, oh, crap, I mean, it didn't 1000x overnight. Dang it. Then this is a scam, right? It's like why I always wonder, like, people don't never realize, you know, investing is investing, but this is investment that you can have an active part in, that you can have an active participation in increasing the value. And you can also do good, like with Canines for Kids and other things that we're involved in, and helping and educating new investors. Like this is very different than a standard investment where you're just going to buy some stocks and then hope that the company does well. There's a lot we can do.
Absolutely. And it's about, you know, making friends and relationships as well with like-minded people. I mean, for example, you know, you and me, Joe, yeah, if we both owned Apple stock or Tesla stock, yeah, we would never have met in Portugal last year for lunch.
Yeah.
Never. I wouldn't know who you are, you wouldn't know who I am, we wouldn't have had conversations, we wouldn't be friends, you know. So it's, you know, it's a much richer kind of an investment, and by richer, not necessarily financially, but yes, financially as well. But, you know, you make bonds, connections, friends, you have a laugh. It's a place where you can go, and, you know, it's not judgmental about anything hardly. You know, obviously we have, you know, basic rules in the rooms, but, you know, it's a good environment. You can go there and relax, or let off steam, or, you know, have a chat with people who, you know, to a certain degree, people who know what you're talking about, because only 4% of the world still own crypto. 4%. So, you know, you go in the pub, or you go in the bar, and you start talking about crypto, then, you know, 96 out of 100 people won't have a clue what you're talking about. Whereas you can come to our room and you know, have a chat about it, and you know, it's a family friendly environment.
Yeah, I love that. I love that thought too, especially if you put it in a larger perspective of just the like-minded people who really believe in this and believe in the power of the blockchain.
If I could describe Poodle, sorry, cut you
go
off
ahead.
there.
No, Ricky, all yours. The show is yours.
If I could describe our community in an analogy, it would be, if it was hot outside, Poodle is cool.
Mm-hmm.
If it was cold outside, Poodle is warm. It's kind of what you need there. You know, with our community, it's always been warm. It's always been welcoming. That's the best part, is the community.
Yep. No, I totally agree. That was a good analogy, because you're right. It's like, and I think that kind of goes along with what I always say, my therapy. Even though I'm talking to myself, which I don't know if that's therapy or if that's just proving I'm crazy when half the episodes are just me talking to myself. But, you know, it is that opportunity to always feel like there is a home, you know, and I've said this early on, you know, when you go through things, you know, and I went through my house fire, the community was there to be that either both escape, but also hey, we're here together. Same thing with, you know, wife having health issues, getting texts and messages and saying, hey, we got this for you, you know, do your thing. Right. And that is invaluable. You know, a lot of people, and I say, don't even get that from their work colleagues they see every day. And yet, we can build bonds and care, and that's that commonality among us that really means something, and I think is a strength to this token as well, and to our eco. I gotta quit calling it a token and say our ecosystem of services and products, right? That to me is the biggest thing of it all. Yeah, Elle, I do talk to myself. Sorry, I'm going to try to catch up on the chat. Chat's going well. We got some good. This is emoji day on the chat. It looks like it is emoji day on the chat. So there we go. All right. So let's land this plane a little bit, and just and say, all right. From both of you now, again, we're at this 100 mark. We need to have action items. Now that we have both Poodle token and the Poodle exchange token, and of course our whitelist, all these other things that we're doing, you can buy your NFTs, all this stuff we have. Can you give a piece of advice to listeners? What can they do now in order to really help this token move forward? We want this thing to last for 200 episodes, right? So what are they going to do? Ricky, I'll start with you. What's some advice for the community that they can do to help now, help their own investment, and help our community?
Well, it's, in my opinion, a simple thing that they can do to help our tokens and community. Again, this is a community token. A lot of us started off as investors, and we wanted to do the best that we could, particularly me, find some way, some avenue, some skill that you have that could make our token valuable. Volunteer your time. There's a lot of things that we need. And if you've been around for a while, get a little bit more active. We definitely would love our community members to become a little bit more active. If you're in the Telegram group, drop a message every now and then. Say hello. I love to post GIFs, so I post GIFs all the time. I probably post more GIFs than I talk, but that's what I like to do. And this is what I want to share with our community members in our ecosystem, regardless of what token that you hold, or if you're just a platform user. If you're a platform user and you see something good, go share it with someone. Our community is good, and you've been helped out in some way, share it with someone. So that's my little advice there. Our token is only going to become more valuable when you make it more valuable.
I love it. I love it. Preach on. I love it. Sasha, last word to you. Same question. What can people do now to kind of help out from where we're at?
Yeah, 3 simple words. Spread the word. And to go into that, you don't have to be out there shilling on Telegram all the time, or on Twitter, or on Instagram, or on Reddit. But all those things are great if you can do that. Everybody who's in crypto knows someone else who's in crypto. Yeah. Get them to use the exchange. Why? You'll be doing them a favor. You'll be doing yourself a favor. You'll be doing the project a favor. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Once people use the exchange, there's no going back. I don't go anywhere else now. And I certainly won't after ETH is supported today, because there's no need to. And why would I? Why would I knowingly lose money by trading somewhere else? It's kind of counterintuitive. So whether it's a work colleague, whether it's a guy that you talk to in the bar on an evening, whether it's your partner who also is into crypto, or whether it's just someone that from another token. Don't forget, as well as the listed tokens on the exchange, you can trade anything. Paste the contract address, you will still get the benefit of the savings, regardless of whether it's listed or not. So that's the thing. Spread the word.
Love it. I love it. I love it. And keep it handy on your phone and everything too. Show people, have them go to it. I think that is huge. And you're right. And you make a good point too, is just because, we list specific ones that we vetted doesn't mean you can't trade anything. So put the contract if you know who it is, and it's a safe way of doing it. And you're always going to get the best price. So that's great advice. I want to thank you both for being on today. We're going to go ahead and land this plane. 100 episodes. Wow. 100. 2-year anniversary. Happy anniversary to us saving the rug. And of course, get ready, exchange ERC tokens this afternoon. Well, actually, coming up quick, few hours from now. So get out there and, of course, build the community, be part of the community, find your strengths and add, as Ricky said, and then, of course, spread the word, as Sasha said. So thank you all. Thank you both. Thank you, Poodle fam. Love you all. This is it's great journey. So until next week, have a good one all. See you, fam.